Former New Jersey governor and former Republican presidential hopeful Christie recently, this past week, spoke to the Republican Study Committee, which is a group made up of current members of the Republican Party serving in the U.S. House of Representatives. And Christie explained to them that he has begged Donald Trump in the past to stop being crazy. Unfortunately, as Christie points out, that didn't exactly work, but Christie wants these people to know that he has been trying behind the scenes, or at least at one point had been trying, to get Donald Trump to stop being crazy. Here's a quote. He says, "I told the president 131 days out from the election, if you don't knock off some of this crazy stuff, your behavior is going to obscure your accomplishments. And if this becomes an election for student council president, we don't win because President Joe Biden doesn't offend anybody as a category." Now, Christie's a bastard. Don't get me wrong. Absolute bastard. But he does have a good understanding of politics and a good understanding of elections. Now, again, that's not to say that he is a good person by any stretch. We all know he did some horrible things up there in New Jersey, but he does get it. So I got to at least give him credit for that. He went on and he told the Republican group this. "Frankly, if my friend had gone down there and talked about Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue and not about Brian Kemp and Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, we would be in the majority in the Senate right now. We lost because we were looking in the rearview mirror at what happened on general election day, not what was going to happen on runoff election day. We were telling them it was rigged, and so they said, hell, why should I go to a rigged election? My vote's not going to matter anyway. We didn't lose the White House because the American people disagree with our ideas and support what Democrats are trying to do. We know why we lost. We know why we lost, and so does President Trump." I'm going to have to disagree with you on that. You did lose because the people didn't want your views and your policies because those sucked. We went through an entire pandemic during Donald Trump's last year of president, and we saw what Republican government gives us. A crippled federal government that is unable to come up with any kind of cohesive pandemic response, a patchwork of different states, including Republican governors who refused to believe that the pandemic was real, delayed shutdowns, reopened too early, tried to cover up the death toll, both in Republican and Democratic-controlled states. Everybody lied to us. And Republicans did most of the lying. Not all, but most. And that is what the voters on General Election Day did reject, Christie. They also rejected Donald Trump's craziness, sure. And I'm glad that you've been behind the scenes telling him not to be crazy. But that's like telling a fish don't swim. They kind of have to. That's their thing. That's what they do. And that is exactly what Donald Trump does. Hell, that's how he burst onto the scene back in 2015 when he announced he was running for president. He gave that weird speech after coming down the escalator, talking about, oh, Mexicans are coming here to kill you. They're killing you. Okay, that wasn't true, but he said that. That was a little crazy. And then once that actually resonated with the Republican base, he doubled and tripled and quadrupled down on the crazy and continues to this day. You can't make a zebra change their stripes. Donald Trump is always going to be the crazy in the Republican Party. So no matter what you tell him, Chris, no matter how many talks you have with him, he is not going to change who he is. So the only thing you can do is get the rest of the Republican Party to move on from him and don't look back. And by the way, they've already proven that they're not going to do that. So enjoy the ride, because your entire party is going down in flames by letting Donald Trump have the controls.